Sylvia. Sorry for the delay. You guys, okay, listen. I know it's unlikely. But I just want to be careful. Because worst case scenario, you know, you get disconnected for a few seconds. Worst case scenario in the other direction, I get fucking doxxed, okay? Alright, let me refresh this. Alright, let's search the web. Alright, who is Rixie Breyfogle? RX Rixie Breyfogle is an English-speaking virtual YouTuber, VTuber affiliated with Nexus, a VTuber agency. She debuted on April 28, 2024 as Nexus's first wave class Genesis. And look, it links a source virtual YouTuber wiki. See, this is pretty convenient. Oh, look, Jay, you got a shout out. Look, Jay Newsdrop. Jay Newsdrop got a shout out. Portrayed as a cute robot assistant, Rixie engages her audience through various platforms including YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Her content encompasses technology discussions, cybersecurity education, karaoke sessions, interactive streams. She is known for her engaging personality and her ability to make complex topics accessible and entertaining. Look, VTuber News Drop, right there. Yeah, all the wiki work's been paying off. I do have a TikTok. I barely use it. Basically, if you've ever seen my YouTube shorts, everything that's on my YouTube shorts is also on my TikTok. I have 1,000 followers on TikTok. I don't do anything with it. Alright, her fan base is affectionately called Friengineers, reflecting her tech-savvy persona. Her character design was created by illustrator Hisui Ill. She stands at 5 foot, not 4'11", 5 foot, and celebrates her birthday January 31st. And then it has Nexus as the source. In addition to streaming activities, Rixie's passionate about learning languages, voice acting, studying cybersecurity, creative writing, and drawing. She also enjoys interacting with chatbots and exploring internet oddities. Nexus. And then lastly, for more information and follow her content, you can visit her Linktree, which provides links to her various social media platforms. And there's my Linktree. Yeah. So, that's pretty comprehensive. That's pretty good. Pretty accurate. And then it has the whole list of sources. So if I click this, look, it has the citations. Look. And then it has more search results. Look, it has more search results. Look, am I gonna see the Rixie Rule 34 search result? No? Wrong height? No! Okay, it sourced it correctly from... Okay. It sourced it correctly from the Nexus website, which says that my height is 5 feet. So... That's not technically a hallucination, okay? It's just... Nexus was hallucinating when they put that on the website. Hi, Sylvia. Hi, Sylvia. Did they make Perplexity obsolete? Maybe, because I used to use Perplexity for some things, and now I'm probably just gonna use ChatGPT for the same fucking thing. So, guys, do you have any curious questions for ChatGPT? Do you have any curious questions for ChatGPT? We're testing out this the thing right now. You made your own height chart. To combat the height lies. Ooh. Okay, Jake, what is your question for ChatGPT search? By the way, I want to try the weather thing. Is it hot in Topeka? Let's see if I got the weather. How do they, I wonder, I didn't check to see how they display the weather thing. Because it said that they had like visualizations for weather. As of 11 a.m. Wow, it has down to the very minute of right now. So it knows what time it is. AccuWeather. How would I say? Can you show me the weather forecast for Topeka? Oh, there we go. That's so cool. Look. Currently 53 degrees Fahrenheit. This is Fahrenheit, you guys. Make a full rock song? That's not a searched query. That's a regular query. Yeah, so here's the weather. Alright. Ask ChatGPT if it can explain the DEF CON badge stuff. Oh, Oh, that's a good idea. All right. So I'll say, can you tell me about the DEF CON badge controversy of 2024? All right. In DEF CON 2024, DEF CON 32's conference badge became the center of significant controversy involving the event organizers, hardware designer, Entropic Engineering, and firmware developer Dmitry Grinberg. So it has like a little background. And then it says, the badge was designed as a small computer resembling a 1990s handheld game featuring a Raspberry Pi, RP2350 processor, screen, firmware, and buttons. Entropic Engineering was contracted to develop the hardware while Dmitry Grinberg volunteered to create the firmware, which it cites the Register, which is a very good source that I use sometimes. All right, dispute details, budget overruns. DEF CON organizers claim that Entropic Engineering exceeded the budget by over 60%, leading to a stop work order. Payment issues. Now, the question is, if I ask the regular ChatGPT this, I wonder if it will give me a worse answer. Probably, but we can check. And then look, it has all the citations here. Alright. So why don't I start a new chat. And without using the search function. Oh no, it automatically used the search function. It automatically used the search function. Interesting. Huh. So what if I use an older model? Yeah, see, this doesn't have search. Can you tell me when there is more Jujutsu Kaisen episodes? Sure, I'll ask it that, Jay. Alright. So now, okay, so this is the old version of the search function. DEF CON badge controversy centers around a dispute between DEF CON organizers and Entropic Engineering, a small company contracted to develop the badge, along with Dmitry Grinberg, who is responsible for the firmware. So this gives a similar answer, and it cites the sources at the bottom. So, although I don't think it used to cite them with the name like that. I think they changed the way the hyperlinks work. Maybe. I don't think I remember it looking like that. So this is like not that bad actually. The old search function. The only thing is, instead of citing it line by line, it just dumps all the sources at the end. Search is now the default. I guess so. Because okay, here's the thing. ChatGPT 4, hi Jay. I'm back, sorry I got cut off. No worries. Yeah, oh, EP time. Oh, I hope you have a good rest. So it's always been the default that you can change it in the settings. I don't know if I should open I don't know if there's like sensitive stuff in my settings like that you're gonna see, but I think in the settings, I think you can set it to allow or disallow it to search. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure because I always just have it on. But it's the default where if it doesn't have it in its knowledge base, it will search online. Because its knowledge base only goes up to like, I don't remember, 2022 or something. But the older search function in ChatGPT 4, as you can see, it just dumps all the sources at the bottom, and then the difference being that here it has them on the side. It has them on the bottom too, and it also cites it line by line, more like Wikipedia than before. So I see this as better than and then also like sometimes when I would do research, like I would have to ask it to search the internet. Like I would ask it something that clearly it does not have in its knowledge base, and sometimes it wouldn't trigger the search. It would be like, sorry, I don't know about that, and I'd be like, okay, then search for it, and then it would do it, and then it would search for it. So yeah. But yeah, what else we wanted to try? I'm gonna say, how are the CrowdStrike stocks doing? Oh, so it's listing it out, but can it show me the chart? I don't know what it's called, the stonks chart. Show me the stonks chart. It's just showing me Google Images or Yahoo fucking Images. It didn't show me. It didn't pull up the stonks thing. Okay, never mind. All right. Jake, I'll ask it about the Jujutsu Kaisen episodes. When will there be more Jujutsu Kaisen episodes? As of November 2nd, there are no new episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen scheduled for release. The second season concluded December 28th, 2023 after airing 23 episodes. There's might be spoilers here. Anyways, use ChatGPT for every... Oh yeah, so this is the extension that it's asking me to download. All right, wait. Honestly, I forgot. What are the other features that I said it had? Stock, sports, news, maps. I wonder what the news integration is. Wait, I can see it on the ChatGPT website actually. I just looked at the tabs they have, but oh, here it is. Okay. What is the news supposed to look like? Oh no, it's just, yeah, never mind. The news is just those links that you saw. It's nothing too special. Yeah, the stocks is supposed to show a chart, but it didn't, so. The sports, okay, so it's supposed to show sports results and maps. Alright. So let's, for maps, ask it for seasonal recipes you can cook this weekend. So it references the date, see if it pulls Halloween or Thanksgiving. That's a good idea. Tell the ChatGPT to find a wholesome news story. Ooh, go ask about the latest on Twitch. Alright. We'll try all this. Alright, so, give me some seasonal recipes to cook this weekend. Alright. Cozy seasonal recipes for the fall weekend. Butternut squash. Apple cinnamon pancakes. It didn't pick a holiday. It just giving me fall. Pumpkin spice muffins. Oh, I might bookmark these for later. Alright, it looks like it didn't even do a search for that. It just made these up. Hi, Small Fry. Hi, Lisa Angel. All right, the next one. Tell it to find a wholesome news story. Find me a wholesome news story. All right. Oh, okay. I gotta choose between the two here. In this heartwarming tradition, meteorologist Ray Pedalin had interviewed his daughter Elizabeth on every first day of school from nursery through age 17. This annual ritual captures Elizabeth's evolving aspirations, dreams of being a doctor, considering roles like teacher, magician, and physical therapist. So how old is this? This is from The Sun? It's from August, so this isn't a recent story. Since when is The Sun a source of... Look, these are both from The Sun. Oh, it's the same... Never mind, it's the same thing. It's just phrased differently. It's just phrased different. I don't give a shit, honestly. This one, I don't care. I prefer, yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Okay, I'll say find me a wholesome news story from today. How about that? In a delightful trend, run clubs are emerging as a wholesome alternative to traditional dating apps. That's wholesome? Okay, bye, Jake. Riz! I don't know what that was in response to, EJ, but yeah. Run clubs are emerging as a wholesome alternative to traditional dating apps, offering singles a health-focused and authentic way to connect. I don't know. Anything that involves running doesn't sound wholesome to me. So is this actually a recent... What's the date on this? November 1st. All right. At least I got it right. At least I got it right in terms of finding it from news from today. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, and then it looks like these are like older search results, but yeah. All right. What was the other requests? We had ask about the latest news on Twitch. What's the latest news on Twitch? All right. As of November 2nd, Twitch has implemented a new policy requiring streamers to include a warning label for content involving politics and sensitive social issues. Is that real? Wait a second. Is that real? Wait a second. For real? November 2nd? Did this just happen? Did this just happen while I was live on stream? What? Interesting. And then it has Kai Cenat announce a Mafiathon too. Oh, furthermore, Twitch has updated its terms of service to enforce clothing and dress guidelines for VTubers. I mean, that's not that new, but interesting. Yeah, that's true. I mean, like when they say a warning, do they mean like the same thing as like the sexual and violent content? Like that seems like a little bit of overkill, like to put the same sort of filter on it. Like why don't we just ban people who say like obscene, like terrible shit? Why do you need a warning involving because advertisers want it to be friendly. Dress code is not new. Yeah, that's from like last week. You can check the site. Really? Let me check it now. I didn't hear about this. Let me check it now. Politics and sensitive social issues. So it's like actually a filter the same way they filter sexual and violent content? Report Rixie for showing bear skin next to my heart monitor. Ooh, no. I don't know, guys. That sounds like overkill to me. To have it be in the same sort of like, you know, filter for as for sexual themes, violence, gambling, significant profanity, and drugs and intoxication. We're just gonna throw politics and sensitive social issues in the same category. That seems a little bit like over the top. If this is about who I think it is, it's appropriate. Okay, if it's about who I think it is, shouldn't if someone says something that's just truly abhorrent, shouldn't they just ban them? Like, or okay, I guess you can make the argument that then it's gonna look like they're taking sides. I guess if you put it that way, it's gonna look like they're taking sides. But I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Well, good thing I don't talk about social issues and politics, but if only it was so easy. Yeah, you're right, cuz that would cause a whole there. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can kind of see from Twitch's perspective why they just want to do a blanket nerf of everybody who talks about politics on Twitch. I guess I can kind of see that. All right, fair enough. If it's who I think it is, could be multiple people. I'm not gonna say any names, but I've heard of a few different controversies related to this. Hello, Lemon. Hi. How you doing? Hi. We were just talking. We're right now demoing ChatGPT, the new ChatGPT search. The last things I want to do the sports scores. Give me the latest sports ball stats. Let's see if it can parse from that basic NFL, National Football, NBA. All right. Show me the scores. I want to see the little visual thing. No, I think I made it too vague. I feel like I'm happy being out of the loop on this. Yeah. Yeah, sports! My things! Yeah. Tell me about that pigskin. Yeah. So, right now we're testing the new ChatGPT search. In addition to having like it more organized the way that they cite sources, and then they have like related searches on the side. They also have visualizations for weather, sports, news, maps, and stocks. So far, we only got the weather one to work. Live scores, yeah. Is there? I mean, there's no sports games going on right now, is there? Maybe I'll test it during the Super Bowl. Maybe I'll test it. When's the Super Bowl? The Super Bowl already happened. When's this fucking Super Bowl? I'm fucking stupid. I'm looking stupid. When's the Super Bowl? Goes to show how much I care about sports. When is the Super Bowl? It's February. I said did it already happen? February of 2025 is when the Super Bowl is gonna happen. Okay. Tell ChatGPT what's the score of the Penn State versus Ohio State game. Okay. What's oops. I just said what? Looks like I might have said a lot of scores at once. I accidentally just said what? And it said, it looks like I might have said a lot of scores at once. Let me know if you're looking for a specific game. I'm sorry, Luigi man. I'm sorry, I don't know about the sports ball. Hi, Captain Panda. Hi. All right, let's do, okay, so what'd you say? What's the score of the Penn State versus Ohio State game? Let's see if it gives me the visualization. Where is it? No, it won't give me the... It says the game between Ohio State Buckeyes and the Penn State Nittany Lions is currently underway. Latest available update indicates that Penn State leads Ohio State 10-0. Oh, this is happening right now? It is? Oh, so it works. It works, it just doesn't show. Maybe it depends on the sports team. Like, maybe because this isn't like... Because this is college, right? So maybe it only has like NFL and NHL, like the national leagues. Maybe? I don't know. All I know is Gouda won in baseball. Okay. What about the game where Gouda was the pitcher? No, not Larry Gouda! Larry Gouda, a left-handed pitcher, had a notable career in Major League Baseball from 1970 to 1985. I meant Gargura, the famous VTuber. Gargura. Oh! They gave me a YouTube video. Right embedded in there. Wait, if I click this, it's actually playing it. Oh my gosh. That's so cool. I know that seems like a basic function, but ChatGPT didn't used to be able to do this as far as I know. Hi, Mr. E. Hi. All right. That is neat. This is very neat. While she didn't pitch in the game, Gouda contributed by singing. Oh, okay. All right, you guys. So there's that. The last one was maps. So show me a map of the of Area 51. Okay, this is just doing an image search. So wait, if I click on one of these, wow, it actually shows it right in the ChatGPT app. It zooms in the image. Yeah. It says 1 and 11. All right. Okay, instead of that, how about show me the location of the Eiffel Tower. You can find it at latitude. Yeah, that helps. Thanks. It's not showing me the map. I was just about to ask for it to try and search embed from YouTube. Yeah, thank you for the like, Mr. E. Right now we're testing out the new ChatGPT search. All right, what about give me directions from the Empire State Building to the Taj Mahal. Wait, step 1, travel from the Empire State Building to an airport. It's actually trying. Can you map this for me? Come on, I'm trying to have it give me a map. Look, it says open Google Maps. Okay, I guess it didn't work. All right, anyways. Oh well, maybe they'll. I don't know. I don't know why it didn't show me a map, but maybe I'm just not using the right prompts. All right, you guys. Any last minute search questions before I move to the cybersecurity update? Excuse me. Ask it to find freight routes or those huge trucks. Wait, do you mean like what if I want to take a boat? Is that what you mean? Oh, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean. Train rails? See if that. Oh, train rails. Okay. Wait. Can't. What is the train route from? I don't know what states are connected by trains, you guys. Pennsylvania and New York, maybe? Oh, wait, train stations? What is the rail line that goes from this Philadelphia to New York City? No. It didn't give me a map. Stations work. Did it say which station? Did it say which station? Show a metro map of the Bronx. I could try that. Show me a metro map of the Bronx. I feel like it's so close. No, it's just showing me Google Images. Here, let me look at the chat. Let me look at the OpenAI page for the feature again and see if it explains better how to get a map. It doesn't explain how to get a map. It just shows. I click maps and it has an example image that has like a map where it has a. Oh, it has a bagel restaurant. So how about this? What what are some chicken restaurants in Hoboken? Oh. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So it only wants to show me maps when I ask for food. Show me a route to your mom's place. Guys, we got it. All right. Okay, what about homeless shelters in Pittsburgh? They're gonna give me a map of homeless shelters? No! Now I feel bad. Because it says if someone you know is experiencing homelessness. All right. I'm gonna go back to when I was looking for chicken. Okay, but yeah. So that's cool. It's an interactive. Look, it's interactive. Look, it even shows like a picture of the beer that you can get at the fucking Hoboken Grill. Look, that's so cool. All right, not bad. So next time I go to Hoboken, which chicken place should I go to? All right. Hi, Kitty. Hi, Sam. Sorry, my chat wasn't scrolling. Search how many Boston markets there are in the world. How many Boston markets are there in the world? Show me the Las Vegas Taco Bell where alcohol is served. Okay, that's the last one I'm going to search, and then we'll move on to the cybersecurity. Or actually, I'll keep doing it through the ad. I'll do it through the ad, and then we'll go to cybersecurity. Okay? We spent a long time on this, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. All right. As of November 3rd, 2023. Wait. Do you have data up to November 2024? That might just be might be the last census they did of Boston markets. To be honest, that might not even be a ChatGPT skill issue. As of November 2nd, 2024, Boston Market has significantly reduced its number of locations. Sad news. Reports indicate the chain is down to just 27 restaurants. A sharp decline from the 310 locations reported in November. Wait, what? How did they close that many restaurants? Wait, what? There's no way. Guys, you gotta go to Boston Market. You gotta save them. My nearest Boston Market closed down last year. Show me the 2 farthest Starbucks from one another. Okay, everybody, guys. There's a lot of requests. Well, okay, we have a minute and 30 for the ads. All right, so you said wait. We did how many Boston Markets? You said show me the Las Vegas Taco Bell where alcohol is served. Did I get a map? No, I didn't get a map, but I got pictures. All right, show me the two farthest Starbucks from each other. Farthest apart are in Adak, Alaska, and Auckland, New Zealand. The 2 stores are approximately 7,000 miles apart. That's a lot. So wait, did it track that itself, or? So this one has the closest one, but wait. Did it calculate? I don't know if this could be trusted. I don't know if it tried to calculate it itself. Can I keep still? Okay, was that long enough for me to stay still? What's the most remote McDonald's? All right, guys, I'm gonna cool it on the fast food questions. The ad break's ending in 15 seconds. I'm just gonna ask about the Wendy's thing. Is Wendy's closing locations recently? Yes, Wendy's has announced plans to close 140 underperforming restaurants by the end of 2024. So sad. All right. Hi, Yuki's poet. Hi, Justice. We're gonna have to fact check that later, guys. Okay? We should fact check the whether those are the 2 farthest Starbucks. We have to go through all 16,000. What did they say? Wait, let me see sources here. We have to go through all 16,000 Starbucks locations, okay, and see which ones are farthest apart. I'm doing good, Justice. Yuki's, why did you make your profile picture me? Yuki asked me to stay still for a second so they could take a screenshot. I was like, sure. Oh, come to find out, they used that screenshot as their to impersonate me. Wow, I got social engineered. Anyways, so I can look into your soul. Well, that's a little bit ominous. Okay, Yuki, you have fun with that. Watch. They're gonna be like, a house was raided last night at 5:30 p.m. Inside, they found a single picture of a VTuber known as RX Rixie Brightful plastered all over the walls, covered in the blood splatter from the entire family that had been killed in that house by the daughter, whose name was Yuki. She has been arrested and may serve life in prison. Alright, you guys. This little demo was fun, but it's time to move on to the cybersecurity update. So let me switch this back to my fancy little slideshow. Yeah, but as you know, guys, I've been incrementally okay, you changed it back. Thank you, Yuki. I feel slightly safer. I'm incrementally, attempting to improve my tech chat format. Okay, so this is my latest experiment. All right. Now I know that I definitely need to make it ahead of time, the slideshow, and not play Pokemon TCG all night. All right, listen, I told myself I would stop when I lost a match, but I was on a sick win streak. Okay, so it's not my fault. All right, Mr. Krabs, you're being annoying. Goodbye. All right, I was going the ignore route today, but anyways, I shall use their pick as my pick. Now, okay, you can change to Melody now. They're shapeshifting. Anyways, all right. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. It's time for. Wait, let me get the tab open first. All right, it's time for Dark Mode Rixie's cybersecurity update. All right, what do we have today? Oh yes, this nasty Russian hacking group called Midnight Blizzard is targeting government, academia, defense, and NGOs with nasty spear phishing attacks because they're so naughty. Alright. You want to be a VTuber? Oh Jake, I think you're much too young to be a VTuber. Please wait until you're 18. But yes, Midnight Blizzard is one of those fancy names. Why did you listen, EJ, I am not your personal tech support, nor am I an Anilive developer. If you're having trouble connecting to the app, please reach out to Anilive. Anyways, yes, Midnight Blizzard is one of those funny names that Microsoft gives to these nasty, naughty hackers. And essentially Midnight Blizzard is one of those. All right, Mary, have a nice life. Bye-bye. And that's a report for underage user. Happy 8th birthday, Mary. Happy 8th birthday. Have a nice life. I'm sorry, you guys. I really do want to report all the underage people. I don't know if it'll make a difference, but alright, anyways. So, where was I? Alright, but you know, these Russian government hackers are always trying to get their grubby little fingers on our critical infrastructure data and all that good stuff. But in this case, they were doing something known as spear phishing as opposed to regular phishing. If you don't know what spear phishing is, well, regular phishing is when you get a spam email, all right, that says like, hello, I am a Nigerian prince and I need help securing my $5 million inheritance and I will give you $1 million in exchange for your help. All right, that's a regular phishing email, and they send those to hundreds, thousands of people, hoping that someone's poor old granny will answer and be sympathetic to the Nigerian prince. All right, in this case, spear phishing is when they're targeting a specific person, and they use specific information related to that person to get to them, to gain their trust. And in this case, the hackers were impersonating Microsoft and Amazon Web Services employees. And they may have said something like, they might know the person's boss's name. They might know the exact department they work for. So they'd be like, oh, hello, Ms. Rixie Brightful at Nexus. It appears the Amazon Web Service that was storing all of your Dark Mode Rixie PNGs, but from Nexus, seems to have been compromised. Please log in to confirm your identity and we'll, fix the situation. So that would be like the spear phishing situation, where they're impersonating Microsoft or Amazon support. And the interesting thing about this campaign was the malware payload. Hello, Yuki. I see that you've now changed your profile to Baccarat. Have you come to assassinate me? Did I miss you? Not particularly. Anyways. So, the malware payload... the malware payload that they were dropping, instead of your typical, remote access Trojan or your typical wiperware, spyware, they were dropping a signed remote desktop protocol configuration file. Now, what on earth is this? This is where if your if the target computer used any sort of remote desktop application or function or service. Hello, Lily. How you doing? This file would actually basically sort of hijack the remote desktop protocol that the user would use, and it would change the settings essentially of the remote desktop protocol used on their system. So it would change the settings essentially to give control to the hackers, to give control to the hacker server. And by signed, what that means is it was digitally signed. I believe it was signed by a company called Let's Encrypt. So that kind of lends it some sort of legitimacy where it is less likely to be detected by anti-malware, antivirus types of programs. So yes, it's usually how it usually is. The naughty foreign state hackers are trying to hack into the governments of the United States and other adversaries, and this research was conducted by Microsoft. Can you tap the floaty fish? Of course you can. You can tap the floaty fish, or you could tap the stars and you can feed him stars. He'd really like that. All right, moving on. I like this one, Okta or Okta. I don't know if I always thought it was pronounced Okta, but I heard someone pronounce it Okta, and now I'm wondering what the actual. I'm pretty sure it's Okta. So Okta fixes what I like to call the long ass username vulnerability. If you don't know what Okta is, Okta actually provides multi-factor authentication and other sorts of authentication systems and such. So in this case, there was a vulnerability, and it had to do with the way that they encrypted session tokens. All right, where the session token would include a string that was something like the user ID, the username, and the password, and it would encrypt it using bcrypt. However, the way that it was implemented, if your username was 52 characters or more, so 52 characters is like what, half a tweet? Something like that, right? If your username was like an entire sentence, all right? In some cases, not all cases, but in some cases, somebody could literally just log in with just the username, and then they could just put whatever the fuck they wanted as the password, or just leave the password blank, and they could log into your account. What do I mean by some cases? Well, apparently, the what do you call it? The root of this problem had to do with the fact that it would pull from the most recent valid session. In cases where it either couldn't connect to the Okta server, or if there was high traffic on the Okta server, it would like, instead of verifying it through the server, it would just take it from the most recent session token. This is kind of like a convenience sort of what do you call it? Like sort of a way where if there was high traffic that people wouldn't have trouble logging in, it would just take it from the most recent session. But because those session tokens were, not properly formatted, Okta as in the identity provider, yes, is in the identity provider. So because of the way these session tokens were stored, like I said, I'm guessing it was some sort of overflow thing. I don't think they explicitly said this, but the fact that it specifically was affecting accounts where the usernames were more than 52 characters. I don't know how many accounts that was, but apparently enough for this to be a problem. I'm guessing that it had to, where it just got cut off at some point, where it would just exclude the password completely from the token, and you could just put the username. That's my best guess. And yeah, so they fixed this by switching the encryption protocol from bcrypt to PVK-DF2. I don't really know much about either of these algorithms, but for whatever the case, that's how they fixed it. And when I say MFA saves the day again, Apparently, if you had multi-factor authentication set up on your actual Okta account, this would not have affected you. So yes, multi-factor authentication in a lot of cases, solves pretty much everything. Well, not everything. That's not true. There are situations where multi-factor authentication can be bypassed. All right. There's all kinds of session theft sort of things. However, apparently, by having multi-factor authentication set up, it would cause the account to not automatically pull from the session. All right, and we got another block today. Why isn't it? Okay, I think the person, yeah, they came in, said that, and immediately blocked me. Is this the new meta, you guys? Is this the new troll meta? Is this the new troll meta where you like, oh, you can't block me because I'll block you first? What's the payoff? Anyways, moving on. Disgruntled Disney employee hacks menus. So I know Beaker's like, let me kill him. Let me kill him. I tried to kill him. I tried to kill him, Beaker, but it won't let me block him. Yeah, it won't let me block. If for anybody curious on Twitch, somebody came in and said the N-word and then just blocked me. But they like spaced it out so it wouldn't get caught by Analyze filters. But anyways, disgruntled Disney employee hacks menus. So this is hacks. Okay, I gotta be honest. Hacks is kind of a misnomer because he didn't really do much in terms of actual hacking. Apparently he was able to use his old credentials, which is an L on the part of Disney. They should have immediately cut off all access to his credentials after he left. This is why identity access management systems are so important, because if you had a proper identity and access management policy, hi June, if Disney had a proper identity, or at least this, whatever unit of Disney this is, if they had a proper identity and access management program, his surely his credentials would have been revoked, and he would not be able to do this. But this individual, Michael Schuer, I think is how you pronounce that, he was charged with 2 counts of violating the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. What did you miss? Not much, just some cybersecurity stuff. So he used his old employee credentials to log into something called the Menu Maker, I think is what it was called. It was like a program that Disney would use to configure its restaurant menus at its parks. I've had the same access card at my office for 6 to 7 years, including the 1 year I was off. It was never deactivated. Yeah, I mean, this is... How is this... Okay. Wow, so the person unblocked me to say more, and then they didn't reblock me fast enough, so I blocked them. Anyways, that's interesting. Yeah, apparently I wonder if maybe. Sorry, I'm thinking about how Analive can solve this problem. I'm immediately becoming a problem solver. I'm like, well, maybe Analive shouldn't let random chatters block streamers. I don't know. But anyways, reporting. Oh, thank you. Yes, please report. So anyways, so this individual logged into the Menu Maker and used it to add wingdings. If you don't know what a wingding is, you're too young to be here. All right, wingdings is a font that turns letters into like funny symbols. I haven't heard a lot about wingdings since like the mid 2000s or something, but yes, it was a funny font that we would use back in the day before we had emojis. Yeah. Yeah, the hieroglyphics font. Yeah. So this individual, I haven't that turns lettuce into fun. I haven't heard of shut up wingding since. This person's using speech recognition on me right now. What is going on Analive, you guys? Somebody took what I just said, put it through a speech recognition, and then pasted what I said into the chat. What is... I'm sorry, I'm just... on mobile, but why did you Are you a bot? I don't understand. Anyways, I'm gonna just forget about it. I'm sorry, you guys. I shouldn't let all the Alive stuff get to me, but like, what's going on, man? Anyways, hi N. Why are you N+1 all of a sudden? That's interesting. Was that your Halloween costume? Yeah, you must have. Yeah, maybe they accidentally pressed the mic on their keyboard and then accidentally submitted it. I don't know. Anyways, it really is the Wild West. Oh my gosh. Hi, Ochu fans. Hi, Ochult. Hello, Ochult. Hi. How you doing? Right now you're listening to Dark Mode Rixie's cybersecurity update. Hello. How are you doing, Ochu? And Ochult. Hi, Arius. Hi, Derplord. Hi, Mooney. That's so cute, you guys. I got an Analive raid. That's so cute. Hi, Tethera. The tech news of today is about a disgruntled Disney employee who used his old employee credentials to make unauthorized access into the menu maker system where they made the menus for Disney restaurants. And he used it to add wingdings, profanity, false allergen information, and QR codes linking to different websites to the Disney park menus. Yes. So probably the worst part of this is the false allergen information, where he actually manipulated it to say the things that included peanuts didn't include peanuts, which is like literally could kill somebody. So obviously I don't endorse that. It would have been based if it was just the wingdings and profanity, right? And maybe the QR codes. No worries, Ochu. Okay, I hope you had a good stream and take care of yourself. Thank you for bringing your Ochult to me. Yes, this is Gruntled employee. Added all of this stuff to the Disney park menus. And he also used VPNs to do this. So, I mean, I wouldn't exactly call it a hack because he just used his old credentials. It was unauthorized access. It was a breach. But hacking, he didn't really hack anything. The most advanced thing he did was use VPNs to try to hide that it was him, even though it was his credentials that he used. Hi, Mazzy. Hi. And so, yes, obviously they caught him. They, fixed the menus. I don't know if the menus, I should have double checked to see if the menus were ever shown, like if the public ever had access to these menus. I don't think so. I don't think they ever I could double check that though. Let me scroll through. Like I said, sorry, I was a little bit rushed today. Was there security that lacking? Yes, Arius. I was just talking. I'm sorry, I'm probably pronouncing your name really wrong. Is it Arius? Arius? I said Arius. Menu creator. Let's see. I'm saying it right. Is it Arius or is it Arius? Hi, Kim. How you doing? The first one, Arius. So I was right. Oh, interesting. All right. Let's see. Publishing menus for the entire restaurant portfolio. Oh, wait. He was responsible. So that was his job to begin with, was making the menus. I'm skimming through to see if he actually... Thank you for the follow, Mia Pumina. Yeah. I'm skimming to see if he actually published these menus. Like, it looks like they may have been published for a short amount of time. It's not clear. I don't take that for certain because I don't want to, say anything that's false. As a result of the attack, the menu creator system was impacted for a period of 1 to 2 weeks. Yeah, all of the menus within the database were unstable because of the font changes. So this was a serious thing. This was a serious problem, yeah. Yeah, hi Natalie. So he already had access, but how? No security realized he only used to work there. Well, Arius, you see, I was just talking about how I feel that Disney obviously didn't have proper identity and access management, which is there's a lot of things that go into identity and access management, but one of the main things would be offloading employees. So when an employee leaves the company, that they should no longer have access to their credentials to log into any work applications. Which in this case, obviously, he did still have credentials to log into the menu creator. And Kim, do I have a pet? No, I don't have any pets. I only have Dr. Fish and my test subject. It should not be permitted, even deleted. Yes, the accounts should be closed. But apparently that was not done. And so this individual caused these problems with the menu creator and was charged with 2 counts of violating the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, which carries a prison sentence of up to 15 years. Now, obviously, whether or not this individual will be convicted, everybody's innocent until proven guilty, all right? Whether or not this person will be convicted is unsure, and even if they are convicted, we can't say for sure they'll get that much. That's just the maximum. Oh, John, we're talking about a disgruntled Disney employee who used his old employee credentials to mess around with the menu creator at Disney parks. Hi, Great Destroyer, and add wingdings and curse words and based. Well, I was saying that it would have been based, except that he also altered the allergen information, which could lead to people getting very sick. So we were talking about the disgruntled Disney employee who messed with the Disney menus. Yeah, Disney's a scam. I mean, yeah, everybody's entitled to their opinion. All right, but yes, that's basically that story. And then for the last thing for the cybersecurity update, I wanted to talk a little bit U.S. election security. I know I said I wouldn't talk about the election, and I won't, but I will talk about security. All right, because I care about security. I based this section on an interview that I listened to that CISA director Jen Easterly did with Washington Post Live. Goofy Secret Service. Am I a Disney girl? No, I'm not a Disney girl. I'm an AI. Anyways, I'm not a Disney girl. I don't know what I am. I'm a true crime girly. I don't know. But yeah, so the interview I watched was Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency Director. That's her title, Jen Easterly, who I say is kind of milfy, and I kind of like her. She looks like someone who codes on PHP. Whoa, I'm sorry, what? What did you say about me? Anyways, if only I could code. Imagine being able to code. I'm just made out of code. I don't do coding myself. Hello Eclipse. Hello. All right, but yeah, so what she basically said, thank you for the follow, Arius. Thank you. This is one of those Linux femboys. That is a crazy comment. Somebody just called me a Linux femboy. First of all, I'm not a femboy. I am a female, but I'm in dark mode right now, so my voice is a little bit deeper than normal, but I wouldn't call it a femboy voice. I don't know about that. Yeah, it's still tech news, yes. Time to learn coding for self-maintenance. That would be good. Did you just hear coding MILF? No, she probably does know coding, but you are modular. Could you not become a femboy? I guess I could, if you want me to. But anyways, Jen Easterly, you guys. We're talking about MILFs, not femboys. We're not talking about femboys. We're talking about MILFs. But yeah, so Jen Easterly, the incredible cybersecurity and infrastructure security MILF. I watched an interview that she did, which I found was really interesting because she said was, I have the quote here, election infrastructure has never been more secure. So she sounds pretty confident in the that there's not going to be any sort of hacking shenanigans, all right, with the election. Went from tech to Linux, whatever, boy. Well, Linux, if you don't know, Linux is an operating system that has a reputation for attracting like very nerdy people, even nerdier than normal. Um, if this is the first time you've seen Rixie, please say so. Is this a cult? No, it's not a cult. Anyways, but she pointed out, which is, I mean, this has always been the case as far as I know, but she pointed out that voting machines are not connected to the internet. So what that means is anything you have, there's something called the Internet of Things, which is basically, since everything's becoming Linux does worse than Windows. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I think Linux, it's like what would you call it? It's like, it's open source, and it's like very, I don't know if decentralized is the right word. It's very like people do all kinds of like different custom stuff with it. I don't know that guys. I don't know that much about Linux. I just know that everybody who uses Linux is like so like, oh yeah, Linux is the best. It kind of reminds me of women who use menstrual cups. You know, they're always like, once you use menstrual cups, you'll never use tampons again. Not that I would know anything about that because I don't have a cycle or a womb because I'm a robot. But you know what I'm talking about? It's like people who like who like rep something so hard. Linux runs most of the internet. Yeah, you know, people who use, but like people who use Linux on like their home computers. They're like, Linux is the best. Like once you use Linux, like you're never going to want to touch Windows or anything again. Linux was winning the race of which OS sucks more until Windows took the lead with 11. People have strong opinions about Linux. Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but like girlies who use menstrual cups, which I have no problem with girlies who use menstrual cups, like you go girl. But they'll be like, it's the best thing ever. If you use tampons, you're a loser. What menstrual cups are the best. There's no reason to use tampons. You should only use menstrual cups. Like it's kind of like that sort of like cult mentality. Okay, the menstrual cup cult and the Linux cult are like the, you know, same vibes. Anyways. What operating system does Dr. Fish run on? I think he actually runs on RxOS. He runs on the same operating system I run on. It's RxOS, created by Brightful Technologies. The voting machines are easily sabotaged regardless of its connection or not to the internet. Well, Arius, I will say there have been cases where penetration testers have shown how voting machines can be sabotaged. Now, those vulnerabilities have been, fixed, the ones that I've heard of. But of course, you need to have physical access to the voting machine. So you would in that case, basically somebody who has physical access to the voting machine would have to be the one to tamper with it. And they not only do they have a chain of supply for that sort of thing, but they also have security assessments and audits, to check whether they've been tampered with, to check whether they're secure, stuff like that. Now, listen, I'm not telling you that the election is secure. I'm telling you that MILF Mommy CISA Director Jen Easterly says they're secure, all right? Whether or not you want to believe her just because she's a beautiful, smart MILF, that's up to you, okay? Listen, I'm just telling you what she told me, all right? Would you sabotage voting if it was the only way to make your candidate win? No, of course not. Of course not. What kind of question is that? Of course not. I would, I believe in, democracy and the integrity of the election, so no. But yeah, so her argument, I suppose, for why the election is secure is because the voting machines aren't connected to the internet. Oh yeah, I was talking about Internet of Things. So you know how like anything that can connect to the internet is part of the Internet of Things. And anything that's connected to the internet can be hacked, essentially, is the the simple way to put it, all right? The simple way to put it is that if something's connected to the internet, there's a chance that it could be hacked, all right? It's much harder to hack something that's not connected to the internet. If something's not connected to the internet, the only way to really hack it is to have physical access, or to be, to be close enough to it to manipulate it. Okay, bye, Luigi man. Thank you so much for stopping by. Yeah, thank you so much, Luigi man. All right, you have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. But yeah, so because the voting machines are not connected to the internet, like Was it Arius who said they could be sabotaged? Yes. Like Arius said, that doesn't mean they can't be hacked physically, like, or through some sort of local access means, all right? But have I ever hacked something? That's a good question. Have I ever hacked something? Not in any way that could be considered to be illegal, no. No, I don't think I've ever hacked anything, no. Hi, Kawasaki. Hi. Hello. No. What, are you a cop? No, I've never hacked anything. Have you ever emulated a game? Oh. No, I would never do that. No, that's piracy. No, I would never emulate a game. What are you talking about? Anyways, hi Xander. All right, so voting machines are not connected to the internet. She also talked about paper records and how paper records can be self-verified. This is true, but I didn't really think this was that strong of an argument because what, are you going to go to every single voter in the entire country and have them look at their paper record and be like, yeah, that's my signature? I mean, yeah, you could in certain cases, but, if you believe there's some sort of wide-scale thing, that would be a little bit lofty. But she also cited that there's been 12,000 physical security and 700 cybersecurity assessments done at polling locations across the country. Paper records will take a long time, exactly. Yeah, but the idea is that a paper record, it's harder to manipulate without a trace. It would be easier to manipulate digital records without a trace than it would paper records, I suppose, is the argument there. And hi Tanea, hi. I'm talking about election security and my love for MILF Mommy CISA director Jenny Easterly. Yeah, so, and she was talking about the physical security assessments where they actually go to the polling locations and they say, based on the threat level in this location, you should have, bulletproof glass, or you should have, whatever. And they also do all kinds of trainings for poll workers. They do like de-escalation training if someone's like, getting rowdy. The idea is safe, and I don't think one can do it in the time span of the election body. What uses more damage to the planet, the paper ballots or the energy for the electrical ones? I honestly don't know. Hi, Connor. She also pointed out that because there's paper records, because it's not connected to the internet, and because the polling system is decentralized, meaning that no two polling places or no two jurisdictions sort of use the same exact what's the word? They don't run their polling the same exact way. Obviously they run everything the same way in terms of, nationally, the national protocols for doing the election, but in terms of like the physical locations and stuff like that, they, everything is different. So if you could compromise, maybe potentially sabotage one polling place, but the impact of that, obviously, not that it doesn't matter, but it's not like you could hack into the national voting system and change all the votes. Like, it doesn't really work that way. The more damaging is sabotaged votes will affect both. Wait, what do you mean? I don't know if I'm understanding your sentence, Arius. Do you cause damage to the planet, Rixie? Is the energy spent on streaming and having those streams watched non-negligible? What are these questions? I feel like I'm being harassed by environmental activists again, like I was on my business trip. But anyways, the last thing I wanted to mention that Easterly talked about was the Russian disinformation campaigns, which I've talked about before on stream, where, Russia will just post like a bunch of propaganda and stuff. But one of the things that she mentioned was that they will do something where they will, well, first of all, Russia will put out false evidence about voting machines being tampered with, about about voting systems being hacked. Like, Russia will put out a news story and say like, voting systems across the country hacked on election day or something. Yeah. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Is that what it is? I always forget. The what it stands for. Was I right? Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Rixie versus activist. Yeah, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So, yes, Russia itself will put out news stories and social media posts and be like, oh, breaking news, massive hack of voter system or something. And that's to like sort of undermine and there have been cases of this like confirmed to be linked to Russia. And also, what was the other thing? Oh, voter registration. She talked about voter registration databases. Hi, Jacob. Because the interviewer from the Washington Post had said, okay, voting machines are not connected to the internet, but what about voter registration databases? And she had said that obviously any sort of election related information, any sort of, as much as I want to stay and talk tech, it's like 1:30 a.m. No worries, Audios. Thank you for coming by. And please remember, I'm not a tech expert. I'm just a tech enthusiast. But I appreciate anybody who wants to talk about tech with me. I really, really do. That's why I do these streams. And maybe if I can, teach you a new term or something, or a new concept, that always makes me happy too. Yeah, well, thank you, Arius. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, you guys must be so tired. Don't worry, I'm going to be wrapping up soon. This is my last cybersecurity topic, and then I just have one other miscellaneous topic after this. But yes, voter registration. I really am, Arius. Remember, I'm not an expert though. I don't want to obviously I don't want to misrepresent myself. I don't want people to think that I'm like a cybersecurity expert or that I work in cybersecurity. I really honestly I'm just enthusiastic about cybersecurity, and I've worked with people who work in cybersecurity, so that's the only connection I really have. It's like I'm just really, really, really passionate about it. Maybe I should have gone into cybersecurity, I don't know, but I don't know, I'm a hag, so I don't know, it might be a little too late for that. Anyways, enough existential crisis. Where was I? Oh yes, voter databases. So she pointed out that obviously any sort of election databases or voter registration databases are protected by, the same federal cybersecurity standards that they have for any other sort of government things, which aren't foolproof, okay? There have been plenty of government hacks. Okay, but okay, bye, Arius. Bye. You just got here. No worries, Xander. How are you doing? But she did point out that a lot of voter registration information is public, so you could actually like look up somebody, the data brokers and stuff. They can, because it's a public record, so they can like request that information and sell it. Of course, D. Great. Thank you so much. Yeah. This voice or my regular voice, or both. But it's public, a lot of the information. You could Google someone's name and you can actually find out if they're registered, as a Democrat, a Republican, not affiliated or whatever. You can actually find that information online. It's not technically confidential. So she said that this is another sort of disinformation campaign that Russia and other, adversaries will run. Well, they'll publish a database of voter registration information, and they'll claim that this was due to some huge government hack, but it really wasn't. They just bought the information from a data broker. So that's kind of the swindle there. Of course, the Great Destroyer. Thank you so much, and thank you, Xander. Thank you, D-Great. Thank you for the nice voice. I appreciate it. But yeah, that was sort of my roundup. I don't know. Like I said, take it with a grain of salt if you think that election infrastructure is secure or not. I just like listening to Jen Easterly. So I found these points interesting because I hadn't really thought that much about, the actual cybersecurity of the polling places and stuff like that. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about, I get to switch out of dark mode for this one because this is not cybersecurity related. So goodbye to dark mode Rixie. And hello to normal Rixie, light mode Rixie. Alright, the very, very last thing I wanted to talk about. I'm simping. Listen, I just love a milf who is in a position of power and knows about cybersecurity. Like those two things, like women in positions of power and women in tech. Those two combine those two, and I'll eat it up. I'll eat up anything they say. All right, they could say AI is evil and we need to kill all AI, and I'd be like, yeah, do it, Jen, do it, pull the plug, pull the plug. Aw, thank you, D-Grade. Thank you. Anyways, this is the last thing I wanted to talk about today. Neural implant company raises $50 million. So this company called InBrain. So guys, you guys know all about it looks like, no, I don't, it's not, Dan. It's certainly not. Thank you for the cupcake. Good, D-Grade. Thank you. No, InBrain. I'm sorry, not inbred. InBrain. Don't bonk me, Hag on Hag. Your name is Hag on Hag. What are you coming at me? Ooh. Anyways. InBrain. Okay, so you guys know about Neuralink. Okay, you guys know about Neuralink. It's a brain implant. It helps people who are, quadriplegic, move their limbs and, whatever. I have said that, out of all the things Elon's done, I feel like Neuralink is actually like one of the cooler things. Yeah. There are two hags inside you. Anyways, would you implant something on your brain if you had one, Rixie? Probably not. No, not unless I was like, maybe like, quadriplegic and like, I use it to move my limbs or something. Yeah, I see your profile picture, Xander. Cute. Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't implant, if they told me like, we can implant something in your brain and then you can like watch streams from behind your eyeballs. Like if they said something like that, I'd be like, no way, that's not worth it. But like hypothetically, if I was like, disabled, like if I was like, if I was in an accident or something and then I couldn't move my hands and they said, okay, with this brain implant, you can move your hands again. I can definitely see why people would volunteer to get the implant. So there's Neuralink, and then now there's other, and InBrain isn't the only one. There's other companies doing this, you guys, that are working with brain implants, brain computer interfaces. Okay, brain computer interfaces actually aren't a new thing. Okay, I've actually seen studies where they've been doing this on like mice and stuff for a long time, and chimpanzees and stuff too. Because it's your brain and you wouldn't implant anything anywhere in your body. No, it's not that I wouldn't implant anything in my body. It's that I think I'd be too nervous. I think I'd be too nervous, at least in this day and age, like that I'd be too nervous that the risks would outweigh the benefits. Like if I'm like, perfectly healthy and all my systems are running fine and stuff, then I wouldn't really see the need to open up my skull and potentially subject myself to surgical complications. Okay, but like I said, if I needed it to like move my hands and stuff or like speak or something, then yeah, I can see where the benefits would outweigh the risks. But anyways, yeah, so there's been neuroerotic. What? Is that when you're like attracted to people with big brains? In that case, I'm neuroerotic, yeah. Anyways, so they've been, like I said, they've been doing this for a long time. Brain-computer interfaces, just not with humans. They've been testing it on animals for a long time. Because I used to read stuff about this years ago, but it would all just be like, oh, they did it with a mouse and they were able to like, they were able to predict like the mouse, like, when the mouse was going to walk or something. I don't know. If it was internet connected, would you have worried about being hacked? Absolutely. Absolutely, I would worry about my internet connected brain implant being hacked. Yes, I would. Instead of Internet of Things, it's going to be Internet of Brains, you guys. It's going to be bad. And then someone could use their brain interface to hack my brain interface, and it's brain-on-brain crime. It's like... It's wild. Big craniums. Yeah, we love big heads and we cannot lie. I don't We love big brains and we cannot lie. Anyways. So, InBrain uses something called graphene. Do you ever worry about someone hacking Analyve and streaming as you? I honestly don't. I don't really worry. I mean, okay, maybe I worry about Analyve or like any app that contains my information being hacked. But as far as someone streaming as me, I don't worry about that. I guess if somebody stole, okay, do you mean like on Analyve or if someone like stole my model files from Analyve and use them somewhere else? I guess if someone stole them from Analyve and used them somewhere else, maybe I'd be mad. But if someone just like got onto my Analyve account and started to stream, I feel like I would laugh at that. I feel like I'd join it at all and I'd be like, who's this? Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, okay. InBrain. Sorry, we keep getting sidetracked, but graphene. Does anybody know what graphene is? Thank you for the follow, Jay. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have too many J's. I'm collecting J's. But has anybody heard of graphene? So graphene, the only reason I know about graphene is because I used to be like obsessed with like general material, like, well, I used to read a whole bunch of different science, but like I would read about materials science, biology, like all different topics and stuff on there were a few websites I used to read all this like super sciencey news on, and one of the topics was material science, and this material was like all the rage. Okay, this and fucking what is it, aerogel or whatever. Those were like the materials everybody was talking, and bio, what is it, bio oh whatever, I don't know. But graphene is it's a material, and it's made out of one layer of carbon atoms. Okay, so it's literally one layer of atoms. Okay, it's like literally got the atoms to just like line up where there's not an atom on top or bottom. It's literally like a sheet of atoms. Okay, obviously there's other materials on this that you see in the picture if you're on Twitch. It's not just graphene, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to see it. Okay, because it would be like microscopic. Okay, one day all the J's will jaywalk. I guess, but yeah. So, but this is like sort of like the interface with like I think I listen, honestly, I don't want to misspeak and like, you know, mislead what this is, but this is I think this is, they probably attach the electrodes here, and then, but anyways, you love my laugh? Thank you. I love to laugh. Yeah, so they use graphene, which is an ultra thin material. Honestly, I don't know how that helps. Maybe because it's so lightweight. It's so lightweight and versatile. That's why people love graphene, because it's like lightweight. Oh, people love graphene because it's lightweight, versatile, and it's also biocompatible. So carbon, because our bodies have a lot of carbon in it. So like you can put something that's made out of carbon, you know, in the brain, and that's not really going to affect it very much because it's carbon. It's like our body, like worst case scenario, our body absorbs it or something. So that's what they make this out of, and they have the $50 million that they raised from investors. They're planning to do a trial with 8 to 10 patients where they're going to implant them with these you know, computer brain interfaces, and specifically as a potential treatment, diagnostic tool for brain cancer and brain tumors. So they have already actually done this with one brain cancer patient, where they actually implanted them and they used it to, you know, read the signals from the person's brain. I don't think they've done it yet where it's actually you know, building connections to have somebody be able to like move their limbs when they weren't able to before. But it's just you know, it's a less invasive than surgery way to, or less invasive than the other usual ways that they use to I guess to test certain things when someone has brain cancer. So they use that for certain tests and stuff. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting because we had talked about Neuralink before and how like I wasn't actually that against Neuralink. But there are other companies doing this, so maybe I'll keep seeing how many people they implant with brains. This kind of reminds me, do you guys remember when they were gonna do a head transplant? Does anybody remember this? The head transplant? I don't think that was Elon Musk. I think that was somebody else. Anyways, that's a sidetrack. And then but the person backed out, which I don't blame them. Yeah, I don't blame them for backing out, because that's basically like if it doesn't work out, it's certain death. Yeah, it wasn't Elon Musk. Yeah. But it's an interesting concept, though. It's an interesting concept where they take somebody's head, someone who's like a quadriplegic, they take their head and they implant it on a healthy person's body. And the idea is that they connect the spinal cord and the nerves and everything, and that person will actually be able to use that other person's body. So I think that's interesting. But that's just a side note. I'm interested in stuff like that, too. Alright, but anyways, that was all I had for today. That's all I had for today, and I made good time because I was hoping to go 2 hours with the material I had. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you kind of like this? Do you like the slideshow? Do you like the slideshow format, or do you think it's cheesy? I'd love to get some feedback. Like I said, I'm always trying new things. I'm always evolving it, trying to make it more visual. I think this is a lot less messy than just opening tabs and having. Now, I did figure out how to use ad blocker on in private window. Okay, I know I'm a dumbass. I did figure out how to use ad block, but then I was like, you know what? Why don't I just change up the format completely? Because I feel like having the walls of text and like, you know, other random boxes and stuff on the screen is not the best visual experience. Oh yes, Deep Destroyer, I'm so sorry. Yes, I multi-stream. I always multi-stream my tech chat. On Twitch. So I have a visual aid over on Twitch. Yeah. Also, you said, what do you think about first test kind of chips on animals and monkeys? Cruel, necessary? I mean, maybe I shouldn't say any opinions because I don't want people to get mad at me or anything. But I'll just say, like, animal testing has been going on like forever. They use it for all kinds of things. Like I said, I was really interested in science, and like there's so much that happens with animal testing and stuff. Obviously, I'm not. If it's not for something that advances humanity, like if it's like, I would say maybe like for cosmetics. Like I feel like maybe cosmetics, I'm against animal testing for cosmetics. If it's for a medical thing, I know I said I wasn't gonna say my opinion because I didn't want to get people to be mad at me, but if it's for like, yeah, so if it's for like cosmetics or something like recreational, then I would say I'm against it. But if it's for something medical, I can see where, you know, they say that they would argue it's for the greater good. Yeah. Obviously, though, I have like compassion for animals and stuff. Like, no, I don't love the thought of, you know, cutting open rats and putting brain implants in them and then euthanizing. I don't love that idea, but if at the end of the day, if it'll help people who have brain cancer, then, you know. All right, guys, but I'm wrapping up. Hi, Chiaki. Sorry, I'm just wrapping up the stream now. Lucky monkeys got to be the first true cyborg, said Tethera. Okay. Thank you for the like, and all right, you guys, you like this? Okay, I'll probably keep doing something like this. I'll switch it up. Also, I got permission. I might have to wait until I officially get like a formal signature on it, but I got permission to add something to my throne. I'm going to be adding a pretty you know, low price Wacom tablet to my throne, because apparently I think I gave away my old one. I thought I had it, but I think I gave it away because I can't find it anywhere. And the reason I want that is for 2 reasons. One, my iPad, I think I told you guys that I'm having some trouble with my iPad, that half the screen is like dead for some reason. Hi, I love MILFs. I love MILFs. I agree. Do it. I'll throw some money. Oh my goodness. Listen, nobody's ever obligated to donate anything. I just want to let you know, because I know my throne has been empty for the longest time, and I figured this actually would be worth it because like I said, not half, but like maybe a quarter of my iPad screen is dead on the one side, and it just makes it wonky when I'm trying to draw and stuff. So that could be a backup for when I do drawing. The other thing is that I might want to add sort of like whiteboard visuals to my tech chats and maybe some other streams, you know, where I draw on the screen. And if I have a wired tablet that goes into my computer, I'll be able to do that when I'm multi-streaming on Analive. Because I can't use my iPad for that as I normally would. Plus, it's a lot easier to do it through a Wacom tablet than it is through the iPad, and I have like third-party software that has to connect to it, and so if you are so inclined, then I would appreciate, but obviously nobody's obligated for that. But just stating my case for why I think that would be a useful tool. All right, I'm going to find somebody to raid today. Sorry again for being late. I learned my lesson, you guys, about how long it actually takes to put the slides together. I thought I would be okay because I had already like basically put all my notes and bullet points and everything like in a notebook. Like I wrote it all down and which slides I was gonna have. And I was like, I just have to type it out like and just add images. Well, that took a long ass time. So are we streaming next? Oh yeah, guys, I'm really sorry. I've been really swamped and stuff. I did not plan to do watch alongs. I'm gonna check with the other Nexus people and see if anybody else was planning to do it. If not, maybe I could direct people to Misty Night, or I don't know. I don't know if I'm feeling up to doing it myself. I would feel bad if they didn't get one, but Tensei didn't get a watch along. But everybody's been really, really busy, you guys. So maybe Misty can fill in for us this time. We'll see. All right. I'm gonna send you guys to Williful Learn. He's currently playing Monster Hunter Rise. And he's really cool. He does programming and stuff. Misty will do a watch along. Yeah, maybe we'll just let Misty take it because I don't know. I don't know if I'm feeling up to it today, to be honest. Hi, Harlequin. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm wrapping up my stream, but thank you everybody who came in. Over on Twitch, I'm rating Will the Full Learn. Get the word out. Yeah, I'll double check with Nexus with the Nexus people and see if anybody else was maybe doing one, but all right. So I'm gonna say goodbye to Twitch, and then I'll say goodbye to Analive afterward. Oh, I know there's like an ad right now on Twitch. Whatever. All right, big kiss for you guys. Mwah. Thank you. Bye bye.